Welcome to Weekly Digest, where we highlight the works of ministers of government as they advance the administration's development agenda. Prime Minister Brigadier Retired Mark Phillipson Thursday reaffirmed Guyana's dedication to strengthening partnerships with the European Union.
The European Union has been a valued friend and developmental partner for the Cooperative Republic of Guyana. The relationship between Guyana and the European Union is predicated on the respect for democracy, human rights, the environment, and the promotion of sustainable development.
Nicole Fraser, a single mother from Farm East Bank Demerara, received the keys to her new home, constructed through President Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali's Men on Mission initiative. The 47-year-old mother of three is now the proud owner of a two-bedroom house, which she said is the best Mother's Day gift.
We have demonstrated as a government over and over our willingness, our ability to work in every segment of our society, to work with people, various stakeholders, to be able to develop communities and to create wholesome families and to make sure that altogether it adds up to a country in which we can all be proud of.
Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony says that the issue of brain drain in Guyana is reversing as members of the diaspora are returning in droves to contribute to the growing economy. The minister said this during the opening of the Almac Medical Hub in Vredenhoek, West Bank Demerara.
We are now changing what was a brain drain to a brain gain, where persons like Dr. McPherson and his team is coming back, not only offering good quality health care, but also would be involved in teaching, which I think is very fundamental.
The Ministry of Health continues its fight to eliminate malaria in Region 1 by 2025 and eliminate all malaria by 2030 with the launch of the distribution of insecticide-impregnated mosquito nets at Port Kaituma.
This year, while the ministry would have bought several thousand bed nets, for Region 1 itself, we have allocated close to 27,800 bed nets, which we'll be using across this region. For your sub-region, we have brought, for your sub-region alone, about 6,200 bed nets. Now, none of this is going to be effective if we give the wrong people the nets. So if we give to people who don't need it, then we're not controlling anything.
18 agencies were engaged in a two-day simulation exercise to review response procedures, plans, and decision-making processes during an emergency scenario. This exercise is in keeping with the new radiation safety and protection law.
We have not paid a lot of attention to regulating radiation in the country. This is something now with this new law that we have to put the necessary mechanisms in place.
With water being one of the most important resources, the government of Guyana has pledged to ensure all Guyanese have access to potable water, even those in the hinterland and far-flung areas. To achieve this goal, a $25 million water supply system was commissioned in Kamwata, Region 1, to give 900 persons clean water.
We have a program we're working with, and we committed that we will ensure that every community, all our citizens have access to potable water. And that is what you have happening. In 3 years, or 3.5 years thereabout, we have spent about $3.4 billion on hinterland water distribution as well for new networks.
To ensure hinterland communities are energy secured, Quibana in Region 1 received 40 solar-powered street lights valued at $3 million. These lights will enhance the safety and security of residents and properties.
Quibana in itself is a hub here for the Barama River communities and from nearby villages. So it's growing, and so certainly one can see in a few weeks from now, when you drive in here on the nights or riding here on the night, very bright, well lit. And I want to therefore use this opportunity to acknowledge the work that is being done by Tushao Troy Peters and his counselors.
The sod has been turned in Oronok Port Kaituma Region 1 for the construction of a $53 million technical training center and labor office for the Ministry of Labor. When completed, residents will benefit from various skill training programs and services for the first time.
Construction should start at the earliest, where people in the sub-region 1, Matakai sub-region, will have the same opportunities regarding technical training and development.
Policing capabilities in the country will soon be enhanced as the Guyana Police Force and the New York Police Department signed a memorandum of understanding.
I cannot say how proud I am that we are today signing on an initiative to work together with the NYPD and with agencies in the United States government towards significant transformation of the Guyana Police Force, and particularly with the NYPD, with the crime fighting challenges and successes they have had in New York, would be advantageous for us to learn from their experiences and take us to a much higher level.
In keeping with its manifesto promise of providing free tertiary education by 2025, government has announced plans to commence Phase 1 of a loan write-off for graduates of the University of Guyana. Over 13,000 Guyanese are expected to receive $11 billion in student loan relief as part of this initial phase.
We are moving now to write off all loans owed by Guyanese who are able to demonstrate that they completed their course of study and graduated, and subsequent to graduation were employed or self-employed in Guyana for a minimum of 3 years, as evidenced by a minimum of 156 contributions made to the National Insurance Scheme.
In addition, Minister Ashni Singh has highlighted Guyana's exponential economic growth and its massive investment potential at Jamaica Promotion Corporation's JAMPRO's third business mission to Guyana.
Every production platform offshore automatically and necessarily translates into demand for goods and services onshore. And several of the most recognizable Tier 1 contractors to the oil industry have already set up or are in the process of setting up operations in Guyana. Whether it be Halliburton, Schlumberger, Baker Hughes, and several others, having come to Guyana, recognizing scale, scope, and anticipated duration of ExxonMobil's operations in Guyana, possibly other operators.
A new wing of the Court of Appeal in Georgetown was commissioned to enhance the delivery of justice. It cost over $170 million and stands as testament to government's commitment to improving Guyana's legal system.
Our government is acutely aware of the fundamental role that the judiciary must play and our institutions of justice must play in the transformation which is taking place across the landscape of our country.
The Ministry of Agriculture has procured new and modern tracking devices to aid in safe and efficient fishing. Several fisher folk received the first set of artisanal vessel monitoring devices in the ministry's boardroom on Regent Street.
We'll also put equipment on your vessels so that we can track you. We can know where you are fishing. We can know where you are located. We can also monitor you, because we have seen we have seen a reduction in piracy in our country recently. But that doesn't mean its end. We have to prepare for it. That is why these devices that will be placed on your vessel are important, that we can know, locate you, you encounter any difficulties.
Minister of Education Priya Manik Chand has made it clear that a 20% increase being demanded by the Guyana Teachers Union, GTU, before teachers return to work is unreasonable. She affirmed it is a ploy to derail conciliation and stop the progress being made in resolving the issue at hand.
It is now clear, if it weren't before, that there is no interest on the part of the Guyana Teachers Union to engage in conciliation with a view to resolving these issues as is provided for in the grievance procedure in the 1990 Memorandum of Agreement. Nowhere in the world would it be considered normal for negotiations to happen under duress. The GTU's insistence that an across-the-board 20% be paid before any talks can happen is, in fact, duress. Given the GTU's many years as a trade union body and their experience, they must know that this is unusual, unacceptable, unreasonable, and would result in a breakdown of the talks. So it is clear to us that they had no intention to participate in any conciliation or anything to bring about resolution of the issues currently facing the parties.
This has brought us to the end of this edition of Weekly Digest. For these and other government-related stories, do log on to our website at dpi.gov.gy and their social media platforms as well. Goodbye.